Hi everyone, I'm Hitesh Sharma. I'm a patent attorney practicing in New Delhi, India. Um, I'm today discussing the topic of patents, which is one module of your IPR course. So first we will discuss what are patents. So patents are a set of rights, legal rights, and I will say exclusive rights, monopoly rights, which are given to the patent applicant. And these rights are given by government. In India, the Indian Patent Office, gives these rights, which is authorized by Indian government, Department of Industrial Policy and Innovation. So these rights are for a limited term. Generally, the term is 20 years from application filing date. So, and these are the patent rights are negative rights. Negative rights in the sense it allows the patentee to stop others from making, using, importing, manufacturing the invention. So the positive right is when you have the right to use that thing, but the patent rights are negative rights. So you have the right to exclude others, to stop others from doing some acts with the invention. So, but why do the government grants uh, these rights? Why? Because they also get something out of the patents. So the patentee discloses the invention, and in return he will get the 20 years of patent protection. So then what all fields, what all uh, subjects, what all technologies can be granted patent protection? So generally all the fields of technology, all the fields of science, engineering, all the products, so they can be given patent protection according to TRIPS. TRIPS is trade related aspects of intellectual property rights. So, but there are some exceptions, like I would say medical methods, surgical methods, diagnostic methods. These methods cannot get patent protection in India. On the other hand, these methods can get patent protection in some other countries, but in some countries there are no patent rights available. So similarly, mathematical and business methods. So the business methods, which are just just some calculations, some mathematical calculations. So these methods are not granted patent protection. So and sometimes the methods of presentation of information. Sometimes I would say, some plant varieties. So some fields, somewhere you can get a patent in some countries. So in some countries you can't get a patent. So these are like patentable subject matter. So like inventions relating to atomic energy, inventions relating to defense, nation security. So if it affects that, you cannot get a patent. But generally for chemicals, pharmaceuticals, semiconductors, microprocessors, new lightning systems, so any new technology which solves a problem. Actually patents are based on problem solution approach. So if you have a new solution, new innovative solution for an existing problem, so you're most likely to get a patent out of that. So but then we will say like, so what are the requirements? Suppose if I have a new chemical manufacturing process, so what is the requirement that I can get a patent out of it? So there are three main requirements which are patentability requirements. The first is novelty. Your patent must be novel. The second is non-obviousness. Your patent must be non-obvious to a person skilled in the art. Suppose you have invented a new pharmaceutical manufacturing process. So your process must be non-obvious to a pharmaceutical chemist or a person working in the pharmaceutical industry. So the third requirement is utility or industrial application. We call it industrial application in Indian patent law. So your invention must be capable of industrial application. So other than that, there is like sufficiency requirement. The sufficiency requirement says that your patent must be sufficiently described in your application. It must not be, you know, like some vague description which is not complete. If it is an invention, if it is a solution, the description must be complete. How it works, what are the conditions, what are the, you know, like best mode, what are total requirements, and everything must be there. So that is like sufficiency requirement. So then we have so generally what happens, you file a patent application in Indian Patent Office, you get a patent in Indian Patent Office, and it is enforceable in the India, in our country only. But suppose you want to get protection in some other country, so you cannot enforce your Indian patent in USA or UK or China or Israel. So what you need to do, you need to go to that country, you need to file a patent in that country's patent office, and you get protection there. So patents are territorial rights. And on the top of that, so generally there are national systems. So Canada has its own patent office, similarly China, Japan, India, UK, Germany, Spain. So every country has its own patent office. So but you know, there are some economic reasons in the world, like European Union is one economic reason. So what happens, that there are regional patent systems. So in these regional patent systems, you can apply for a patent in only one regional patent authority. So for example, European Patent Office, so it manages patents for almost 40 countries, 40 European countries. So you need not go and file 40 patent applications in 40 European countries. You only need to file one patent application in European Patent Office, and they grant your patent, which is applicable in all the 40 countries. So that happens. Another regional authorities, patent authorities, are Eurasian Patent Office, EAPO. There is ARIPO, African Regional Intellectual Property Organization. There is one OAPI. OAPI is for French-speaking African states. ARIPO, which I mentioned, is for English-speaking African states. EPO is European Patent Organization for the whole Europe. And then we have Eurasian. Eurasian is for those countries where Russian is primary language. So in this way, there are regional patent systems. One thing I want to make clear is that there is no world patent. Means there is nothing like that you get a patent and it is enforceable all over the world, in all the countries in this world. There can be national patents, there can be regional patents, but there cannot be any world patent or international patent. There's nothing like that. Okay, so on the top of national there are regional systems, and then there are international conventions and treaties. So the first and foremost patent convention is the Paris Convention. So the Paris Convention, so what Paris Convention does is it gives you a priority right. Suppose suppose you file a patent in US, and now you want to go to other countries. You want to go to India, Germany and France. So what you do is that you take Paris Convention priority. Priority means even if you file the second application after some days or after few months, within 12 months in India, so the Indian application will be given the same application filing date and priority date as that of the first US patent application. Suppose you filed first patent application in USA. In USA, suppose on 1st January 2015 you file a patent application. So within 12 months, that before 1st of January 2016, you need to file patents in all the Paris Convention member countries. So even if you file a patent in, suppose on 15th of September 2015, you file a patent in Indian Patent Office. So this patent, Indian Patent Office, will be given a filing date will be 15th September, but the priority date will be 1st January 2015. So this Paris Convention gives you a flexibility to file file first patent in one country, and in remaining countries you can file a patent within 12 months. So there is no loss of priority in this case. So this is Paris Convention. This is for priority rights. Then we have Patent Cooperation Treaty, that is PCT. So what PCT does is, it is one level above from the national and regional systems. So what it does is, it has like 140 plus members. So in PCT system, in Patent Cooperation Treaty system, you file one patent application with PCT, and that application is equivalent to all the patent applications in all the member countries. So this one patent application is equivalent to 140 patent applications. So what it does is, it saves you money, because you have to file only one application. You don't have to file 140 applications. You save money. Second, you save time. The third thing is, the PCT application gives you a period of 30 to 31 months to enter national phase. So PCT is just the filing thing. So after PCT filing, there is publication at the international level, PCT level. Then there is international search by the International Search Authority. So after this search, you can go for optional preliminary examination. So at the end of that, after 30 or within 30 or 31 months, you have to enter into national phase. So what happens? The WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, so the WIPO authority forwards your patent application, PCT application, in all the member countries. So whichever country you want to go and get a patent, so your application will be forwarded to that country. Suppose you want to get a patent protection in 20 countries, so WIPO will forward your application to 20 countries. So now after this national phase entry, so when it has been forwarded, so these have become national phase applications. So now these applications are same as that of national patent applications. There is no difference. It will be examined in the same way as your regular national patent application, but it will take the priority date of the PCT filing date or PCT priority date. So this is Patent Cooperation Treaty. It saves you money, it saves you time, it gives you a time period of 30 to 31 months to enter national phase. So what happens in these 30 or 31 months is that you get time to develop your invention. Suppose your invention is not complete, is not up to the level, but you have filed it, but now you have 30 months to decide on its commercial aspects, its profitability, to decide about its markets, to do market research and other research. So within 30 or 31 months, you get to know about the prospects of your patent. So then you can decide either to go ahead with those 20 countries, or now you want to pursue more countries, 40 countries suppose, or now you think that only 15 countries are enough. these 15 markets are enough for my patent application. So in this way you save your money, you get time, and you save a lot of documentary requirements are minimized in the case of PCT. And then we have one more international treaty, which is Budapest Treaty. Budapest Treaty, sometimes your invention is related to biology, it is related to microorganisms. So when your invention is related to microorganisms, so when you file that patent application, you have to deposit that microorganism, a sample of microorganism also. So in this way, suppose you have filed patent application in 85 countries. So now individually in each and every country you have to go and deposit your sample of microorganisms. So to avoid all this problem of going to 85 countries, sending it and depositing it, what Budapest Treaty does is that all the member countries of Budapest Treaty, you can deposit your sample of microorganisms in only one country, and it will be equivalent to the deposit in all the member countries of Budapest Treaty. So it avoids you a lot of hassles. And then the next treaty is Strasbourg Treaty. Strasbourg Treaty is for international patent classification. International patent classification is for the classification of patents, because no two patents, like some patent can be from mechanical engineering field, some other patent can be from chemical field, some other patents can be from electronics fields. So but how do you differentiate that? So what it does is it gives you classes. So mechanical engineering patent will be classified with these codes. So chemical engineering patents will be classified by these codes. So similarly for each and every technology fields there are patent classifications. So IPC, International Patent Classification, originates from Strasbourg Treaty. So